So guys, welcome to our channel once again. In today's video, we have here these 20 repeated questions to answer on the topic adaptation for survival and evolution. So guys, this video will be about behavioral adaptations in social animals. So in short, stay till the end of this video because this is a very important one. So let's start with the first question here already. It says, fishes survive in water mainly because they possess A. Gills, B. Paired fins, C. Scales, D. Streamlined body. So guys, the answer to this question is option A here, and that's gills. Fishes are able to survive in water because they possess gills. The gills enable them to extract oxygen from water, hence they are able to respirate in water. So let's consider the next question, question number 2. It says, which of the following organisms is a social insect? A. Housefly, B. Butterfly, C. Grasshopper, D. Honeybee. So guys, I believe you must have guessed rightly the answer to this question, and that's the honeybee. So that's option D here. Honeybee actually is a social insect. So guys, other examples of social insects will include the termites and the ants and so on. So social insects are actually known for their specialization. They have specialized groups, and the species of each group will cooperatively work together in their organized communities. So that's it for that. Let's consider the next question, question number 3. It says, fish cannot survive on land because it has A. a streamlined body, B. a body covered with scales, D. no lungs, C. no working appendages. So guys, the answer to this question is option C here. The fish cannot survive on land because it does not possess lungs. Therefore, it cannot breathe outside water. So the fish is actually designed to extract oxygen in water by their possession of gills and not lungs. So guys, option C here is the correct answer to this question. So let's consider the next question, question number 4 here. It says, a termite with a relatively large head and powerful jaws is likely to be A. soldier, B. reproduction, actually this should be reproductive, C. queen, D. king. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's the soldier. The feature explained here in this question is related to the soldier termite. So let's consider the next question, question number 5. It says, which of the following animals exhibit territoriality? We have A. bats, B. rabbits, C. bees, D. lizards. So guys, the answer to this question is option D here, and that's the lizard. So let's consider the next question, question number 6. It says, which of the following organisms exhibits division of labor? We have A. housefly, B. butterfly, C. termites, and D. cockroach. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's the termite. So let's consider the next question, question number 7. It says, which of the following organism does not undergo incomplete metamorphosis? So guys, in order for you to understand this question well, we can actually rephrase this to be, which of the following organisms undergoes complete metamorphosis? Now, just looking at this question, you will see a double negation, does not, and then incomplete. So when we say it does not undergo incomplete metamorphosis, all we are trying to say is that it undergoes complete metamorphosis. So guys, the options we have here: A is butterfly, B is locust, C is cockroach, and D is grasshopper. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's the butterfly. The butterfly undergoes complete metamorphosis out of all the options we have here. So it has stages as egg, then larva, which is the caterpillar, then pupa, and then the adult. So guys, that's it. Let's consider the next question. Question number 8 here. It says, which of the following traits is not characteristic of social insects? A, all members are identical. B, there is division of labor. C, some members protect the queen. D, the members dwell in the same habitat. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option A here, which says all members are identical. So you would notice that in social insects, all the members are not identical. Certain members will possess certain features that make them unique and make them stand in their different groups. So guys, that's it for that question. Let's consider the next question. Question number 9. It says, which of the following features is not an adaptation of plants to aquatic habitats? A, flowers raised above water for purpose of pollination. B, breathing roots for entry of air. C, hairy structures on the leaves to reduce water loss. D, spongy tissues containing gases for buoyancy. So guys, the answer to this question is option C here, and that's hairy structures on the leaves to reduce water loss. Actually, this option is not an adaptation of plants to aquatic habitats. Rather, it is an adaptation of plants to arid or dry habitats. So that's the answer to this question. So let's consider the next question. Question number 10 here. It says, which of the following best describes the adaptation of the earthworm to its habitat? A, position of segmented body to reduce movement. B, burrowing into soft ground to store food. C, living in burrow during the day to prevent desiccation. D, position of a few bristles for defense. So guys, the answer to this question is option C here, and that's living in burrow during the day to prevent desiccation. Actually, the earthworm burrows through the soil during the day to prevent desiccation. And if you're wondering already, desiccation is the loss of moisture in the organism. So let's consider the next question. Question number 11. It says, termites are called social insects because A, they live together in common communities. B, the king and queen do mate. C, the queen allocates duties to the workers. D, the nests are built by the nurtured soldiers. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's because they live together in communities. So let's consider the next question. Question number 12. It says, a situation where some animals remain inactive throughout dry and hot season is known as A, burrowing, B, incubation, C, dormancy, D, estivation. So guys, the answer to this question is option D here, and that's estivation. Actually, some animals during dry season enter a period of inactivity in order to lower their metabolic rate. So this phenomenon is known as estivation. And guys, this estivation is actually similar to hibernation, aside the fact that hibernation occurs during wet and cold season, whereas estivation is associated with dry and hot seasons. So guys, that's it for that. Let's consider the next question. Question number 13. It says, the biological importance of the dance by the worker honeybee is that it A. acts as signal for mating, B. serves as a warning signal, C. signals the availability of food, D. serves as means of identifying members of the caste. So guys, the answer to this question is option C here, and that's that it signals the availability of food. So guys, let's consider the next question. That's question number 14. It says, a xerophyte conserves water by possession of the following features except A. sunken stomata, B. broadleaves, C. thick cortical, D. fleshy stems. So guys, without thinking much on this, already we know that when a plant has broad leaves, it's going to lose more water because water is going to evaporate from the surface of the leaf. So the greater the surface area of the leaves, the higher the evaporation rate. So with this being said, we know that the answer to this question is option B. So xerophytes that conserve water will have all these other features except broadleaves. And that's the answer to this question. So let's consider the next question. Question number 15. It says, the spinnerets found in the caterpillars of butterfly is used for A. feeding on vegetation, B. movement on twigs, C. production of silk thread, D. protection against predators. So guys, the answer to this question is option C here, and that's production of silk thread. So let's consider the next question. Question number 16. It says, pondweeds normally lack thick layers of cortical because A. there are numerous stomata on their upper epidermis, B. there is no danger of becoming desiccated, C. their system of photosynthesis is not efficient, D. their leaves are either dissected or ribbon shaped. So guys, the answer to this question is option B here. There is no danger of becoming desiccated. Actually, plants that possess thick cortical are plants that are in areas where there are dangers of being desiccated. So the cortical is there like a waterproof layer or water repelling layer that prevents water loss from the plant's surface. So in an aquatic plant such as the pondweeds, there is no need for a thick layer of this cortical. So that's it for that question, and option B is the answer. So let's consider the next question. Question number 17. It says, the importance of courtship in animals includes the following except A. arousing both male and female partners, B. to coincide with the ovulation period and ensure fertilization, C. ensuring that the female chooses the right male species, and D. protection of territory. So guys, the answer to this question is option D here. All the other options here are the importance of courtship in animals, except the option D here, which is protection of territory. It's also important to note that some animals may use courtship displays to exert dominance or territorial control, but the act of courtship itself does not, or is not, a mechanism for territory protection. So let's take note of that. Let's consider the next question. Question number 18. It says, the function of the drone in a colony of bees is to A. protect the colony, B. lay eggs, C. mate with the queen, D. clean the cells. So guys, the answer to this question is option C here, and that's mate with the queen. So they did not do other jobs like to clean cells, to protect the colony, and so on. So that's it for that question. Let's consider the next question. Question number 19. It says, courtship behavior in animals may include all the following except A. basking in the sun by a lizard, B. croaking of a toad, C. howling of a dog, and D. dancing of the worker bee. Okay, so here the option A is the correct answer to this question, and that's basking in the sun by a lizard. So let's consider the next question and the last. Question number 20. It says, display is a phenomenon which occurs when animal is A. approaching puberty, B. fighting to defend itself, C. ready for mating, D. chasing away an intruder. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's ready for mating. So guys, this is where we'll end this video for today. If you enjoyed this lesson, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're not a subscriber. Also, if you have any specific question regarding this video, you can drop your question on the comment section below, and we'll ensure to give you a response. We also want to encourage you guys to join our YouTube channel community. So guys, thank you once again for watching this video, and see you on the next one.